Hey guys, welcome to Worlds Collide. I'm Matt.
And I'm Tony.
And this is episode 2 of our weekly update for the week ending of April 15th. What a week, man. Seriously, so much movie news dropped this week that normally Tony and I have decided that we would like to do topics of the week, but this week there was so much movie news that we're going to kind of push it to next week, especially with some of the TV shows and stuff that's going on. So next week we will be discussing Supergirl, especially with the season finale. The Flash returns. We're going to catch up on Legends of Tomorrow. Trying to get Tony caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So next week we will be discussing all that stuff. This week, though, we're going to hit the movies. CinemaCon happened this week, and good lord, did movie news drop kind of all over the place. And to kick it off, we're going to do the big news that we all knew what was coming. Deadpool 2 officially announced. No real surprise there, especially considering at the end of the movie, Deadpool said, hey, we're making a sequel. Tony, you excited for it?
I'm excited, and I'm excited that I already know they're putting more money into this simply because of how much money they made. So I'm excited to see how much longer of a movie it's going to be.
Right, as the highest grossing rated R movie, you would think that maybe we'll give them more money this time around. The only thing that's been confirmed so far is that the entire team, production-wise, is coming back. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds did sign already his agreement, but the supporting cast, like T.J. Miller, who played his homie, I forget his name, and then Morena Baccarin, who played the girlfriend. I can't remember their names right now, but they aren't signed on yet, but they'll be back. So I'm definitely excited. Obviously, the addition of Cable. What would you like to see in the sequel?
More storytelling.
More story.
I just want a deeper story with Deadpool. I know, we talked about this before, and I know he's very, just murk with the mouth. I just don't want that stupid, I got powers, I need to save my girlfriend story.
Like we said, it was the damsel in distress.
Yeah, the
damsel in distress. Yeah, I definitely don't feel we need that again. Tim Miller, the director, handled the first one, brilliantly. So
yeah.
No need to bring that back. So definitely super excited for that. As more news drops, we'll continue to follow it, especially with casting of who Cable would be, because he's a huge character. So that'll be exciting to see. But moving right along, absorbent amount of trailers dropped this week, more than most people are used to, but one of the big ones was the Doctor Strange first teaser trailer. You guys can actually check out our reaction video to see what we thought about it, but now that you've had a couple days to process it, what did you think of it?
I mean, it's intriguing, but I'm not at all, excited for it. I'm not excited. It looks like something different that Marvel's doing, and I like that because they have the same formula, and I want something different from Marvel, and that excites me, but overall, the trailer was just meant as a teaser. It didn't show too much. So, as I stand right now, I'm just kind of all right, well, when it comes out, we'll see more. And right now, I'm kind of
I've watched it quite a few more times, and I am really excited now for this. I really like what was shown, and really did a great job of teasing everybody because for people who don't know the Stephen Strange story like us, I mean, it definitely did a great job of teasing. So, I mean, it definitely worked in the sense that it brought a lot of mystery without giving anything away. So it'll be interesting to see. But along with the teaser trailer that dropped, we got 2 Doctor Strange posters that dropped. One of them is a behind the shot of him in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Just a very cool shot, kind of him looking out of the office window, as I like to call it.
Well, it's he always has that pose in every poster.
Right, that's funny. People brought that up, the Star Trek one, he's got that back shot as well. But then they also released a front view one of him doing the hand motion with kind of looking through with the fingers going through to the eye. Some of the mystical powers coming up there. This is kind of a cool front face poster that, I don't think Marvel has kind of done something like this before. So I actually really like this second poster especially.
Yeah, the posters definitely look cool. And it's going on further is, didn't you say Kevin Feige was talking about the whole 3D aspect, that he wants to push that possibility?
Right. I mean, and we said this in our trailer reaction, but it's we're not huge fans of 3D movies. Maybe occasionally we'll see it depending on the movie. I saw it last with Star Wars, and I actually really enjoyed it. I know you saw it with BVS, and that was kind of cool as well. This movie, I'm actually really tempted, especially as we start to see more footage, I might want to see this in 3D. I really, especially with some of the shots in the teaser, this may look really cool to see in 3D. So that that is exciting. So Doctor Strange, if you haven't checked out the teaser, do it now. If you want to see our reaction, check out our video as well. You can see what we initially thought about it. Keeping on up with movie news, Wolverine's been kind of quiet, except this week we got some news that they cast a villain for Wolverine 3. Now, originally this was rumored to be the Old Man Logan title, which I don't know if you followed at all, but it actually takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where heroes and villains are divided up by land. It's crazy. It's a real crazy story. Based on how the X-Men universe has played out, I've been very curious to be like, well, how are you guys going to do this? Well, then this week they cast a gentleman by the name of Boyd Holbrook from a show on Netflix called Narcos. I've never seen the show. Have you seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah. I've only heard good things about him and the show, but when I saw a picture of him, dude is really young. I mean, at least to me. And he kind of reminds me of Charlie Hunnam, the dude from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of who he looks like. So that was interesting that they would cast someone like him, but I think the part that really got me the most is something they described his character as relentless, calculating, and intense head of security for a global enterprise who is set against Wolverine. So right off the bat, this can't be the Old Man Logan storyline like I thought it would be, especially with how they kind of portray who his character is. I was really hoping for, especially if this is Wolverine or Hugh Jackman's last go as Wolverine, I was really hoping for like Omega Red. That'd be freaking awesome if they dropped him. But this is really interesting. What do you think about the description of how they describe his character?
I don't know, really, honestly.
It's tough. I mean,
yeah.
like it's really hard to figure out anything about this, like, and who his character may be. Like, you know, who kind of reminds me of, remember in X-Men Origins, the first one, like the garbage one that came out. They had, what was it, Agent M, I think it was.
Yeah.
I feel I read this, and that's what I feel like that's who the character would be. I really hope not, though. I really hope that if this is Hugh Jackman's last go, that they really give him more of a send-off than some guy who's a head of security.
I feel like this won't be Hugh Jackman's last movie simply because of the success of Deadpool, and now they're going to be pushing R-rated Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
And then they're going to want a Deadpool and Wolverine together.
Oh, God, could you imagine the team up? Especially, I mean, they're in the same universe, so it makes it a lot easier.
I can just imagine Logan just being like, get away from me. And I would love to see that because, like,
just walks up to Deadpool, he's like, shut.
He'd just be like, you know, he could just like stab, you know, Deadpool and it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah. So I mean, it's something we'll definitely keep an eye out for. Who knows how he's going to turn out? What kind of character he may be? Who knows? I mean, maybe they're going to do some far out thing where he starts as a head of security and he turns into Omega Red. I really want Omega Red, dude. I really want Omega Red. That would be amazing. The movie's supposed to start shooting in May, scheduled to come out next year in March, so we'll definitely keep an eye on it and see what happens there. Moving on to the Netflix universe. Charlie Cox, the guy who plays Matt Murdock, Daredevil this week came out that Defenders is going to be shooting at the end of this year. That's awesome.
That's exciting.
Really excited about this. And I think what's more exciting is the fact when he made this announcement, he said that Daredevil is going to be essentially kind of like the Nick Fury. He's going to be the one to bring the Defenders together.
That's an interesting take. I could not picture that, to be honest. Like, he's like the brawler. Like, I didn't really, like, I know he has, you know, he's a smart guy, but I don't picture him going out and finding people. He's usually like a one guy type of vendetta.
Right. I mean, even the first two seasons, like, he pushes everyone away. So to hear that he's going to be the one to bring everybody together is interesting and exciting for me.
I mean, it's definitely a new take, and I'm excited to see that because it's like that dynamic of him like being like essentially, yeah, like I said, the Nick Fury. It's like, how's that going to play out? Like, is he going to discover other people with powers, and then he's going to want to set out people in this same area, or maybe like he encounters them and he's like, oh wow, there's other people out there like me,
right?
Let me start recruiting, like maybe we can get something started because something big's happening. Like, I'm interesting to see that dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. Which it's great to know also that it was also announced that the same executive producers, the guys who have been working on Daredevil, are going to be the same guys working on the Defenders. So it's all within the same team of people. You and I both trust the Netflix universe and what they're doing.
That's definitely good news for the Defenders, because is it the same team that works on Jessica Jones, or is that a different team?
That's a different team.
Okay, because I'd rather have the Daredevil team than the Jessica Jones team. Just saying. Just saying.
You just don't like the story because it's not action. Be truthful.
Moving on.
But along with the word of the Defenders, there's no word on Daredevil Season 3 yet, because with the way that Season 2 ended and all the storylines that could possibly go into Season 3, no word on that yet. But I think the worst part about this interview is that he did confirm that they are keeping the show separate. I know you and I talked about it last week with the actress Alfre Woodward, who's showing up in Civil War, but she also has a role on Luke Cage. They are keeping it separate.
Sad news. That's a big missed opportunity.
Yeah.
You have like at least you're gonna have by the time this comes out 6 established characters that you could possibly be using for the Infinity War, and that's awesome if you were to see all these characters come on screen and come to life. But to know that they're not gonna be, it's like it feels kind of like a waste.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a waste of time. I mean, they're enjoyable. I give it that. Like I love the Netflix series so far. But to like take that away from us, like to build up all this love for the TV show and then take it away from the movie universe, and you're just like, wow, now I'm never gonna get to see this character fight on the big screen.
I know
when it matters.
It'd be so cool to see that. But at the same time, we still can't fault Netflix. I love both seasons of Daredevil. I know you did. I love Jessica Jones. Luke Cage comes later this year. Season 2 of Jessica Jones, and then Iron Fist eventually.
Yep.
So keep it going. We'll see how that all turns out. On to probably the biggest Marvel movie news of the week is Civil War got screened by the press for the first time this week, almost more than a month in advance, which is showing some balls by Marvel. They obviously are super confident in their movie. And so a bunch of critics went to see it. They told them they could not review the movie, but they could go out and leave their reactions on Twitter. And I had really no surprise there. The overwhelming amount of positive response after the first screening blew absolutely all the critics away. Everyone loved it.
I could have seen that coming from a mile away.
Right now, it actually still stands at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But granted, none of us have seen it yet. But the reports from it, but obviously a lot of people were worried that how are you going to have all these Avengers in the movie? Is it a Captain of War movie? The critics have said, yes, the Avengers are in it. You can call it Avengers 2.5, but essentially it still is a Captain America movie.
Shocker. At least it'll be better than Age of Ultron.
Oh, man. I mean, I think I liked Age of Ultron just because it was like another Avengers movie, but not nearly as much as like the first Avengers.
And you know what? I'm a big fan of Winter Soldier. I love Winter Soldier.
Right,
like
Winter Soldier.
That's like my top Marvel movie right there.
So good.
So if this movie's anything like Winter Soldier, then yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy it. I already know I'm gonna enjoy this movie as it stands. I'm just not surprised by the critical response on it.
100%.
That it's overwhelmingly positive.
I think probably the biggest reports that came out of that, no shocker really to surprise me. No shocker to me, no surprise is that Spider-Man and Black Panther kill it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely steal the show. And they say that Spider-Man is probably the closest and best iteration we've seen of the character yet. Wow. And he's only in 2 scenes.
That's hard to believe because I really love Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
Right, he's really good. And I actually like aspects of Andrew Garfield as well. But to say that when he's only in 2 scenes, I feel like it might be a little ambitious because we haven't seen the Spider-Man movie yet, and we'll get to that later. But, it says something, right?
I mean, I read an article that there's like 10 minutes of Peter Parker and 20 minutes of Spider-Man, and every minute is worth it. In terms of just seeing another live-action Spider-Man that might be the best iteration to date, and we've already had 2.
Are you suffering from Spider-Man fatigue yet?
No, I love seeing more and more Spider-Man. Like I love as much as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Like not everyone was on board with it. Yeah. I still enjoyed them. Like it had their own unique feel to it, and I still love those movies. Like they aren't the best Spider-Man movies, but they're still fun to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't suffer from the fatigue. I know a lot of people are kind of over it. We've had enough Spider-Man, but
it's only 30 minutes of Spider-Man, so think about that.
No, I absolutely agree, and especially if the reports are as true as they are that he is as amazing as they say he is. I will be extremely excited. Tony and I will be doing a review for it once it comes out. We'll be seeing it opening day, and you guys will definitely be able to check that out. Moving on to the other character that steals the show, Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman is an incredible actor. I don't know if he was in 42, the Jackie Robinson one that they did. He's been in a few movies, and people are going to hate me because I can't remember, because he's an incredible actor. One of the very cool things that came out is Ryan Coogler, the guy that directed Creed, the Rocky sequel, I guess you could say it is. He actually was on set helping to develop the character during Civil War, which is great because now he's moving on to direct Black Panther, and he's already helped develop that character. So it's a great transition that he knows exactly who this character is. It's not like someone else wrote him to begin with, and now he's getting to have, put his take on it. Thoughts on Marvel, I guess, letting him and making that happen, that transition a lot more smoother, so he knows who that character is.
I mean, I like that idea that the guy who's bringing him to life is going to stick with it. And once I said before, is I want to see that the different movie tones, and I can only imagine with different directors it will be that way.
Yeah, I expect it to be the same, but I think it's very cool that Ryan Coogler was able to be on set, help write the character. So now that he's directing the movie, it makes it a lot better because he already knows everything. If you guys didn't feel like there is enough Avengers appearing in Civil War, reports did come out that almost one more made an appearance, but it's actually not even an Avenger. It came out this week that Wasp actually almost made an appearance in this movie. Just one more to throw in there. I'm glad that she didn't, because I want to save her for the Ant-Man sequel. I have no problem bringing Paul Rudd in it because I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
We both do. Love that he's doing that.
I think Paul Rudd is probably the most exciting news and most exciting dynamic that I love. Like, Paul Rudd brings a new level to the game, and all the other characters, I'm sorry, but all the other characters do not they're all second-rate characters to me.
Did you see that video of the Russo brothers going, we just showed Chris Evans the first cut of the film, and they go in there, and Paul Rudd's got the mask on, he's like, this is a great movie, and they were like, what's your favorite part? He's like, Ant-Man. That is awesome.
And I feel like Ant-Man will be probably, other than Spider-Man and Black Panther, like Paul Rudd's going to be that standout character. And so far, in everything that I've seen, Paul Rudd he's the standout character.
So
and
funny.
I love Paul
So
Rudd. And not to give crap to Chris Evans or even Robert Downey Jr., but Paul Rudd just stands out more.
No,
his character stands out more.
We love Paul Rudd, more Ant-Man. I love it all. As I said, once we see Civil War, we will be doing our review of it.
A non-spoiler review for the first week.
Right, and then as it progresses, we will be talking
as more and more people see it, we'll put out a spoiler review.
Also, one of the things that Tony and I have decided to do is once we've seen Civil War, Tony and I are going to spend one of these recap episodes discussing our top 10 favorite Marvel films. Everything that we've seen, beginning from Iron Man of the Cinematic Universe to Civil War. So check out, keep a lookout on I can't even talk now. Keep a lookout for that. That will be coming around the same time. The Russo brothers have been doing crazy press because of Civil War, and they're letting people see it now. Talking about Avengers Infinity War, this obviously is the big setup to Infinity War, because after that, there's really nothing in between besides Thor Ragnarok. I mean, it's obviously a big film, and Doctor Strange, and I think there might be Ant-Man.
Black Panther.
Oh, and Guardians. Yeah, so all
this
stuff.
Yeah.
All this,
essentially 5 films. 5 films before.
Not really a big deal. So there's more coming, but I'm talking about how this is a big setup for Infinity War. They came out this week and said that Part 1 and Part 2 are actually going to be very different movies, but collectively it's going to feel as a whole, which I think is cool that they're willing to take that approach, and they already have ideas of where they're going to go with the Infinity War. I think one of the biggest things that they dropped that I couldn't believe and I'm so excited about is that Avengers Part 1 for Infinity War is going to be shot entirely in IMAX. How do you feel about that?
I think that's awesome.
That's freaking awesome.
I love
entire movie in IMAX.
I love IMAX movies.
Dude, it's just going to be like this the whole time.
This is probably going to beat that. They're talking about Batman vs Superman being one of the most expensive movies. This will probably beat that most expensive movie mark.
Right.
But then the money it's going to generate.
Oh my God. Just take my money. Take it all. Take more of it. Take money I don't even know I have yet. It's going to be great. If you guys also thought that Civil War might have too many Avengers in it, the Russo brothers made a comment that they're looking at maybe tripling the amount of heroes from Civil War to Infinity War.
That's awesome because there's that one meme where it's like reality, and then it's like what was it?
Oh, the Civil War one
Yeah.
you're talking about. Right.
It's
There's
like
a
the
meme
comic
out there.
book.
It's the actual comic book battle, and it's just heroes everywhere.
It says dreams and reality.
And then reality is
and it's
the
like
10
10
person battle.
and then in dreams it's like 100 of them, and it's like they need, like, I don't care what people say, it's like they've already built up a universe, start throwing in these characters, give them their own movies, or some of them don't need their own movies. Like it's the Infinity War. Like
This is everything they've built for.
And that's why I said taking out the Netflix series is a bad idea, because that's 5 characters right there that could have been in this movie.
Oh man, that'd be nuts.
Didn't make it.
But they did tease that Star-Lord is going to be making an appearance in Part 1. You like Star-Lord, don't you?
Yeah, I love Star-Lord.
This would be incredible. Chris Pratt, obviously, is almost on that level. I think I put Paul Rudd just a little bit above him.
Yeah,
I enjoy Paul Rudd so much, and a lot of people may hate me for saying that over Chris Pratt.
No,
because
Paul Rudd all the way. Team Paul.
Team Paul all the way.
Team Paul.
Also, confirmed to come back is Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. Duh.
Shocker.
And Thor. Duh.
Most expensive choice.
I
Get Sam Jackson out of there.
Oh, Jesus, I know, right? Is his contract up yet or what? I'm almost curious, though, about announcing if Thor should return now. Maybe might be too premature, especially because we haven't seen Ragnarok. We don't know the implications, because Kevin Feige has said that Ragnarok is going to have implications on the universe the same way that Winter Soldier did. You know?
Yeah.
So I almost, not to say that Thor's supposed to die or anything in Ragnarok, but I mean, I almost feel like it might be too little premature to say that, yeah, he is coming back. We will see him in Infinity War. I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I mean, I guess. So I expect him to survive now at the end of Ragnarok.
Probably.
But someone not returning for Thor, Natalie Portman.
That's fine by me.
Jane Foster, done. Not coming back. Instead, they just cast Tessa Thompson, who was in Creed, and is now rumored to play Valkyrie or Broomhindle, however you want to, whatever iteration they choose. Rumors before were saying a love interest, but I don't think that's the route they're going to take.
Anyone's better than Natalie Portman. She's like one of Marvel's least memorable characters in terms of standout female characters.
Oh, man. Moving on to more Marvel future movie news. A lot of people have been saying it's confirmed. I don't like to say it's confirmed yet. I think it's more like, sure, the probability is that's going to happen. But Kevin Feige came out and said Guardians 3 has a really strong possibility of being one of the future Phase 4 movies. I couldn't be more excited. I mean, Guardians 1 was amazing. I can assume Guardians 2 will be good. You have a face like you don't like it, though.
How many phases are we gonna have? I mean, like, Phase 3, I feel like Phase 3 would be like the final act. That's cool, and they can still continue it after Phase 3. But it's like, get this, like, Thanos has been teased since Guardians, or no, before Avengers. I'm sorry, Avengers.
The first one, yeah.
And it's like, get this guy out there already for the team to fight. Have your big movie, and then start focusing on another big baddie.
I wonder if Phase 4 is supposed to be after Infinity War.
If it is, then okay, I agree with Phase 4, because I
think that they have their lineup up to Part 2, and they're looking to the future. But I think maybe that's where they're more.
I just feel like you can only tease a character so much before you just ruin it, and it's like, as much as I want to see Thanos, at the same time I'm like, you just keep teasing him and you're not showing him. It's like, it's killing that.
Everything's building up. Yeah, I feel you.
It's a cool build up, but it's like
it's going to take. Well, Avengers, 2012 Avengers came out, so now we're talking 2019 till we actually get to see him in action. 7 years is a long time to be teasing a
That's
character.
exactly what I mean. It's like there is such thing as too long of a build up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm still excited to see him on screen, don't get me wrong, and taking on the Avengers, but it's like, come on. You just give him his day, take him out, or make them take him out in some way where he can come back, or I don't know, something.
Yeah. Also talking about the future of Marvel. Not necessarily Phase 4, but I think it's still Phase 3. Captain Marvel. Kevin Feige has said that we'll have a filmmaker and possibly cast by the end of the summer. Is there anybody you would like to see cast as Captain Marvel?
My fan one was Ronda Rousey. And I'm going to stick to that.
Champion Rousey.
Ronda Rousey should be Captain Marvel. She has the,
She has the physique, but you know what? Did you see Fast 7?
Yeah.
She was terrible.
She's not an actor.
Oh. But so you want her in as Captain Marvel? I don't know, man. Like she's got the physique for it. She's got the look. if someone can give her an acting lesson or two, maybe. I don't want to judge. I'm going to say the same thing. If Ronda Rousey were cast, to say the same thing that I told you when Ben Affleck got cast. Let me wait to see.
Okay.
I ain't going to jump to conclusions because footage tells all.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I think the last big movie news of the week for Marvel this week, or last week, we talked about possible titles teased for the Spider-Man reboot, and I pretty much shit all over it because it was terrible what I thought it might be. I can't believe it. It's actually official. The new official title for the Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, this week, a lot of people, I think I've seen kind of mixed reactions to it. People have seen, like, hey, that's a great title because Spider-Man's back at Marvel. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Peter Parker's in high school. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well, that was kind of the connection I made. I'm okay with Spider-Man Homecoming. I feel like it's more of like, oh, Spider-Man's returning to Marvel. The Marvel world, I know it's still a shared license, but it's like he's returning back to Marvel, back where he came from. And that's why, to me, the name makes sense. It's Spider-Man Homecoming. He's coming back. And whether it means a dance or whether it means it's because he's coming back to it, I'm okay with that. I want to see this, and I'm okay with it.
I'm going to see it. Don't get me wrong, because I love Spider-Man, but I just feel like we could have come up with a better title. And this logo reminds me of the 90s animated series.
That was what I grew up with.
Yeah. I mean, and that's cool. I mean, I'm not to say, look, I don't want to shit on a movie I haven't seen yet. The movie could be amazing, and I just don't think this is the best title they could have come up with.
Hey, that's the greatest idea I've ever heard, is stop shitting on movies that don't even come out yet. Maybe the general audience can take
a note or two.
Yeah, take a note or two. Don't judge a movie until it's out.
Well, because now that the title has been confirmed and things are really moving forward, people are talking about who's the villain going to be. Who's it going to be? Well, for a while now, people have been talking about like who they'd like to see on screen. But then a report came out that said Vulture might be the guy that makes an appearance. Then, all of a sudden, it dropped that Michael Keaton, our OG Batman, is in talks to play the Vulture. How do you feel about that?
He looks like the Vulture to me. He's old.
Birdman to Vulture.
Yeah, he's old.
I think it'd be a really cool choice. I think Keaton's been killing it with his movie roles lately.
I definitely think it's something like it's like a twist because like Spider-Man's the news reporter.
Peter Parker.
No, not Peter Parker. His boss.
Jay Jonah.
Jay Jonah, actually the actor that played Jay Jonah in the old Spider-Man movie, Raimi Spider-Man movies, got cast as
Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Commissioner Gordon in Batman.
Yeah, I know. You guys all know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Total brain fart. But yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Michael Keaton, game on. I'll take him as the Vulture. All right, so that is the end of our Marvel movie news. We are going to take a quick break because we need to get a drink of water. We're going to move on to our DC news. We'll see you guys in 1 second. Thanks.